the Brains Trust, introduced by the question master, answering any question.
Been a big week for all the fellas. Big end of storm week. Got through that. How are we, boys? Bricey, Eyes, how are we?
Good Scooter. How are you, mate?
Yeah. I am all right. A bit fatigued, to be fair. Big few games, but took its toll on the carcass and the noggin. Eyes, how you pull up, mate?
Not too bad considering. I didn't even play on Saturday, so it was quite a decent rest for me. But it looked like the rest of the boys and on our team in particular were pretty sore after things. So glad that short turnaround shit's over.
Yeah, mate, you'll be well rested after having the weekend off. We thought you put on a huge shift on Wednesday against the Star Boys, so well earned rest, mate. We're lucky enough to have on the Brains Trust tonight. Inspirational star man, played his 50th game on the weekend. Jordan Stewart, Geordie, good to have you on, mate. How's the body feeling and the mind?
Cheers for having me, lads. It's good. It's always, like you said, it's tough getting after that week. Miserable. You're finishing work, for me, dropping the tools, and then you're going to play a game of footy. It's always tough. And on top of that, we've had Marist both Wednesday night games. I think that's a bit of a theme because if I remember correctly, out the last few years we've had Marist, and luckily it's always at either Rugby Park or Les George, but we generally always play you guys in the midweek game, whether it's Easter. Yeah, so
might need to talk to the Rugby Southland Brain Trust about that one, but to be fair, don't mind not having to go to the Gore Showgrounds as we've said on the show before, so we'll take that one. Brycey, just quickly, you would have got through a bit of the action on the weekend, even some Super Rugby Aotearoa, couple of tight games. Catching you there?
Yeah, watched my fair bit of footy, but self-admittedly a bit lazy this week. Just watched a lot of the try highlights. So hopefully you boys can carry me on a bit of the analysis there.
Fair enough, mate. What we might start with, though, is just there's big day in Invercargill at Southland Boys High in particular on Tuesday. The first 15 took on Kings, who were or have been portrayed as a bit of a powerhouse in the South Island this year, I guess, in terms of their first 15. And when they walked down to the field, it definitely, you could see why. It was a pretty monstrous sort of outfit for a South Island first 15 team. Not usually something you'd associate with a team. First 15 team from the lower south, but it was a hell of a game of footy, 24 all. I'm sure if people weren't there was plenty of people who would have tuned in on Sky Sports. So, Eyes, you were there, mate, live in the action. What'd you think of the game? 24 all, fair result, or one team unlucky?
Probably looking back, I think both teams were kicking themselves a wee bit for not getting across the line. I think both teams, well, more so Kings late in the game, but I thought it was a really high-quality game of schoolboy footy, especially on that ground. I probably haven't seen a better game of first-team footy on that ground in terms of skill, and I guess because the pitch hasn't been played on, so that wasn't chopped up. But some players on there, as you said, that Kings forward pack, I don't think I've seen a bigger South Island or lower South Island first 15 like that in a very long time. But there's some very good tries scored. That boy side scored the last one was a really good try. So, no, it was an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, Gareth Turnett scoring his first try for the first 15, but a long time coming considering he's a third-year player. So, no, he was pretty fizzed to get a meat pie. Had a hell of a bit of work to do, to be fair. Bumped off the halfback and gone 25 metres. So, great stuff. Geordie, obviously, weren't there, mate, but as people might have seen on TV, a new grandstand erected on the Queen's Drive side. I understand you had a bit of a hand in erecting that.
Yeah, mate. Look, I only turned up. The other lads at work actually done most of it. I only helped them put it into place, and I didn't even do that. First 15 lads were over it.
That's a coordinating role, is it?
Oh, yeah, just assist. They just spark a few orders out. But, no, it's good. What I did here is pretty packed, so that's good. Hopefully they continue to pack for the first 15 games. So, no, it's good. It always needs something like that. It gets a bit greasy on those banks some days, eh? Something with the dirt, so.
You juniors getting chucked down the hill.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff. Big boisterous crowd, and they were in fine form, especially when Southland boys crossed for a couple of tries and within a couple of minutes there. But yeah, good result for Southland Boys High. Couple of anyone take your eye just quickly, eyes. I know Kings had a bit of a water boy out there running a few waters. A guy called Ben Smith or something. He was running a few waters.
Yeah, he looked pretty handy, but I thought Josh Burrell was really good. Aaron Withy, the 12, I think he's been mentioned here before. He was running quite a vicious haircut, but he
yeah,
looked really handy.
Mackay Johnson Brown, hell of a lid.
Yeah, the King's centre was good.
Play.
Yeah.
I heard he
What's
was
that,
out.
mate?
He
Yeah,
did play. I heard he was out.
He was touch and go, last minute decision. He made the cut, so he was in there.
Andy.
Just on the stands, I actually saw a couple of kids vaping in there, which I was quite big on. So I'm not too sure if that came across the TV, but seeing the vape getting run in the stands was get to take from me anyway.
Zord was on duty in the stands. We need to have a word with him.
Oh, he wasn't offering too much. To be fair, he was standing with me.
I think he was passing it around, wasn't he?
A few Jimmy Rabbits in the stands throwing around some vapes.
Yeah. Nah, it's good stuff nonetheless. So, yeah, good result. Or win obviously would have been ideal, but pretty good result there to get 2 draws in a row for Southland Boys High. Now they start at the top 6 second round, so that'll be interesting. Looking to get a top 2 spot so they can get a home semi-final. So we'll follow that over the next few weeks. But we'll get into the club footy. Big weekend in all the grades really. With just 2 rounds to go, things are getting pretty tight. We'll start in the Galbraith Shield. We might start on the Woodlands POB game because probably the easiest to talk about in terms of the results. 61 donut to Woodlands. We thought we picked Woodlands 13 plus, but probably didn't quite pick them 60 plus, unless you did, Brycey. But pretty much watching the tape and listening to what the boys had to say, it was one-way traffic from the kickoff and really ran riot and probably could have been a few more by all accounts. So I guess pretty deflating for the POB boys, but Woodlands just if they hadn't already locked in their final spot, they have now. You catch any of the game, Geordie? Any of the highlights or heard anything from any of the lads around that one?
No, I just sort of I caught up with Molesy after the game. There's a few lads come around to Star Club Rooms actually, himself and Liam Howley come around and Jack Dillon. But Molesy, quote from Molesy's word, just said, "Mate, she was tackling practice at back there." He was at full back. He said she was just tackling practice. So sounded like a bit of a hard day for them, but yeah, look, it's a pretty class side what that Woodlands out for the running. So I understand Pirates are a bit sore on the old injury front as well.
Yeah.
So
that hurts. Yeah.
Brycey,
yeah, absolutely. Brycey, you catch any of those highlights, mate? There were a few highlights. So
I did. There was a few minutes worth of try highlights there, so it was a good watch. It was just it's just carnage out wide. I think the wide channels, they were just having a field day. They were feasting out there. And once they run in 2 or 3, I think old boys sort of dropped their heads a bit and thought they were in for a long day, and they were. So, yeah, well done to Woodlands. They'll be hard to stop.
Indeed. I know we were playing adjacent to them on Saturday, or the boys were. You managed to catch a glimpse of any of the action live? Anyone catch your eye individually?
I actually parked up in the in goal between both games, so I got a pretty good pretty good viewing from looking that way anyway. But pretty much the forward pack won all these set piece well. So obviously if you give them a line share, their back line's pretty electric. I thought it was probably Matty McKenzie's best game at the back. I think he might have gone injured perhaps, but Saucy, Ray, take your pick. They were all good.
Yeah, Marty was good too.
Marty was, I think
the ball it might have been a bit of a reaction for us picking Greg, Jay and Isaac as 10, 12, 13 in the Form 15.
Yeah.
Seriously,
there was always chip on the shoulder there, mate. There was always chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
It doesn't take Marty much to get a wee chip on the shoulder, but he was outstanding.
They reversed the form on Saturday.
Very classy indeed. So, yeah, great win for Woodlands. They're locked in with 2 games to go, so I'm sure they won't want to take the foot off the gas too much, but they can look ahead to that final. before everyone else. So we'll go to the second game. We might go to your game, Geordie, at Waverley Park. Home game for you boys. I don't think you'd played there for a few weeks, had you? So you got up 31 points to 14 against Blues, but it was looked pretty bit of a tussle there in the first half before you boys pulled away.
Yeah, no, it was actually. It was tough. Playing there, we sort of always struggle to get up against Blues first up. I don't know what it is, but we start the first 10 real good, and then it just goes end zone from them, and the boys start sending Kalipi through the midfield, and it just slows down a bit. But no, it was good to get the end result. Look, we just really, from the upset in the week, we just needed to put them away, and shit, they nearly let them back in, but no, we got the end of the day, we finished it, so it was good.
Yeah, and as we touched on before, mate, 50 games for yourself, so that was would have been a shout of crate afterwards, was it? Pretty big occasion for you.
Actually, yeah, I did myself. I grabbed a crate, and I think a few other boys. I think Mac Popham grabbed a crate as well. So it was just there's a few crates parked up and a few leaners after in the Star Club rooms, but yeah, no, it was good. It was actually a really good night. We just hung around in the club, and I didn't venture to town. I actually just took it easy and went home. But no, it was good.
Good stuff, mate. Anyone, I guess, anyone stand out performance-wise for you guys on the weekend? I watched some of your tries. I see you scored a couple from set piece, particularly a couple of line-outs, so some good stuff there.
Yeah, no, it's we're a few guys in the full-pack starting to step up. We've had a few injuries that's sort of slowing us back, but having some key guys come back to control the line-out and other set pieces has been good. We had a chance. We run Tatey. He was running that 8 in the weekend, even though he's wearing the number 2 jersey.
Didn't see that.
Yeah. And young hooker Kai Simone, he's been playing actually very good.
Yeah.
Got his first start at hooker, but the old jersey is a bit tighter. But another guy who's got out wide was Alex Thrupp. He got a hat trick. He was pretty good.
Nice.
Both him and Brad have been playing some fairly good footy and both fairly direct players. So I think it's always handy to have them backlines.
Yeah, absolutely. Bryce, are you catching any of these highlights, mate? Bit of analysis from you on that fixture?
Yeah, no, I think it's all been covered, mate. I did wonder if Thrupp did get 3. There was one that was quite hard to tell, but I knew he definitely got 2. I think Blues, it was an improved performance again. They're getting better. They're getting some numbers back, and Koeman scored another ripper as well, so he's still trucking along really well.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
Yeah. But no, it's all covered there.
Is anything to add, mate? Or
I think, as Geordie sort of touched on, it was a bit, that first half especially was a bit topsy-turvy, but that try just on half-time, I think, sort of broke Blues a little bit in the sense that they'd done quite a bit of hard work to keep it about 7-0, and then to let a try like that, which was a bit, sort of changed the game. And then straight after half-time, that little tip on you did to Geordie to the grub, and then he slung it out wide. That was quite a nice try, but no, it didn't
mate, he can move. The man can move.
I seen him streak up the left-hand touch side at one point.
Chip and chase as well.
Back to speed on Brad Koeman.
Was there a red card in your Geordie?
There was a red card, yes. I think it was a swinging arm to one of our wingers, Junior Lafonga, who so he'd be. I'm not too sure if they'd taken it ahead. I would assume they must have to chat to the ref after the game, but from his angle, he seen a swinging arm, so she might be a 3-week stand down. That might be the end of the season, buddy, but we'll see what happens.
Was it Junior that got sent off?
Yeah, Junior Lafonga.
Yeah.
No, we'll watch the space.
Yeah.
He might have a few carryover points, just quietly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been red carded before.
Oh, true.
Not from the Dogs of War, Boyside 3rd-15, was it?
I'm not saying anything, but yes, it was.
Must have been his coach's influence, mate.
Yeah, take his head off, son.
Yeah, good stuff. So that's a good win for you, Star Boys, Geordie. Keeps you well and truly in it. Just 2 points between Marist Pirates Old Boys and Star, with just 2 games to go. And I guess Pirates Old Boys taking on you Star Boys in the last round, which makes it very interesting indeed. So we'll watch this space. We'll go to the last game. It was Marist. Marist lads took on the Barbarians at centre point. Fair to say you hear the cliche getting rattled out in the aftermatches, game of 2 halves. Well, It really was a
Definition
game of two
of.
halves. Definition of 21-0 to Marist at half time. Reasonably one-way traffic. But the Barbars do what the Barbars seem to do every single time. They either play Marist or play most teams, and dug their heels in and made it a pretty tense finish, to be fair. They had all the play and all the momentum. Bit of a 25, 30-metre rolling maul try got them going, got their supporters going on the sideline as well. So the boys hung on, though, eyes. We'll take the 4 points there, although it would have been good to get 5.
Yeah, sort of one of those games you could kind of feel it coming straight after half-time that we may not have any points left at us and we just have to hang on. And to be fair, if we had scored first after half-time, it might have been a slightly different story in terms of the scoreboard, but you got to tip your caps to Barbars because they just never go away. And you talk as much as you talk about, you know, trying to step on their throats when you got the opportunity. It's fucking hard to because their forward pack's so fucking gnarly. But yeah, they sort of got led around really well by Albert. He was really good at 8 and did a bit of damage. I thought Jacob Colgan was really good. His set piece was, as you mentioned, that like 30-metre rolling ball. So for a dot, and for our guys, Robbie Houston from Scotland, he had a really good game at 12, and that's good for him considering he's had a few injuries. But he was one of those ones, bag the 4 points and get the fuck out of there.
That's the one, mate. Pricey, you catch some of the action there?
Yeah. Look, the Barbars are almost like the Chiefs, of Super Rugby. They sort of only ever lose by 5 or 6 points.
True.
But yeah, good first half. A couple of nice long range tries. Keanu, I'll plug him again. He's having a whale of a season. And your new 9 was backing up on the inside to score. I don't know if Jeremy would have been there if he was on. He would have been 20 metres
halfway,
back.
boy.
Yeah. Getting ready for the restart.
Yeah.
And then Barbars, they don't go away. It would have been it would have been quite nerve wracking, was it? Watching them get their head of steam up, going, here we go.
Big time.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
Fair to say, fellas, the Barbarians have been very unlucky this season. I guess look at their results. They've won 2, lost 6, but to be fair, those 6 losses, I think their biggest losing margin may have been 10 points. Maybe that might have been to you guys last week, Geordie, and that was a pretty close game as well, wasn't it? So they've pretty much been in every single game, and really they've been the only team that has beaten Woodlands and probably should have had them twice. So bit of an unlucky season for them, to be fair.
I reckon we give them a bit of shit for being quite a boring style, but I reckon they'll be up there in number of offloads per game. They fucking offload a lot.
They do.
Just amongst themselves and the forwards, obviously, but it's still pretty effective.
Very effective. Very effective. And it's not some of that long range stuff. It's just nice and sharp and get up the number. And it's the ones you don't expect as well. He's doing it. Cool. And I think it's Fodderbean. He throws a few every now and then.
Yeah. So it's good stuff from the Barbars. So they got 2 games to go. They got Pirates Old Boys this week, which we'll get to shortly, and they got Blues to finish. So I would think they'd be wanting to finish the season with 2 wins, 2 good wins, which would cap off I'd say pretty good season considering the amount of players they've lost, and you take those losses with a grain of salt. So good stuff from them. Right, we'll go to the Ack Soper. We'll crank into that. 3 big games. We'll start in Wyndham. Wyndham took on Tiana. Now, by all accounts, there was a bit of a wardrobe malfunction for the Tiana boys. The kit was left behind, and they had to don the Matera jerseys. Not sure about not sure about the shorts either. I think there was some blue shorts.
What were they?
Looking at the photos on the Facebook, I looked like some maroon Matoda jerseys with some blue shorts. So interesting combination there. Bit of a misfit sort of outfit, but it must have worked for them because they got the job done, 28 points to 15. So huge win for them, and they've got a huge game this weekend that win that, they'll pretty much be in the final and possibly even a home final. So did we see, I don't think that game was videoed. Was it game video?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
That? We flicked
Oh,
through
just
that
the
one.
tries.
Yeah, just the
Just the
tries
tries?
too. There's
Yeah. Any
No, yeah.
thoughts on their tries? Good footy.
Tiana's
again
got a
from
real
Tiana.
nice. Looked like Izzy Warrior might have been playing fullback. Wasn't
Yeah,
he? Scored a
I
nice
think he
one.
scored off that quick,
From
off the quick
quick
tap.
tap.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a really nice try. Looked like a pretty good day for footy out there. So I think they ended up with 4 tries as well. So yeah, that's a pretty fair effort going down to Wyndham. Tough, usually a tough place to win, isn't it? So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when you mentally left your kit behind to hit,
that's a shocker. Like heads have got to roll for that. You can't. That's the one
I,
thing you got to
I
break.
did actually see a comment on their Tiana Facebook page. Someone made a similar comment that heads must roll. Heads must roll for that one. Ever had that happen, Geordie, where the kits, the playing jerseys and whatnot have been left behind? Borrow another set?
I don't think so. No, it's but definitely, yeah, she's definitely a good old fine. That's a management. You've got a couple things to do. What do? You walk in there and you go to hang the jerseys up. There's no jerseys there.
Fuck, we got to wear the Matera
Yeah,
jerseys. Christ.
You ring one of your mates down in Matilda and you get some Matilda dog jerseys down there and you pay for that emblem on your chest and you get the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a victory to remember. Bryce, you see thoughts on the way Tiana are playing? They're playing some pretty good footy. Fair to say they're the form team at this stage?
I think so. Yeah, Midlands is sort of wobbling a little bit. I still think they'll be in the final, but Tiana are looking good. They will. If you're going to make that final to play Tiana, if they do make it, you don't want it to be in Tiana. So
yeah, absolutely.
Their odds are shortening.
They are indeed.
Which I think you picked it too, Scotty. You'll be on the edge of your seat.
I do recall tipping them for the Ack Soper title, so they are living up to the hype.
Getting a message from Ben McKircher saying, "Mate, Tiana are fucking dusty. What are you doing?"
I tell you what,
like Kirch to run his mouth.
They've pulled the wall over everyone's eyes, mate. So they're looking good with 2 games to go. Right, we'll go to the next one. The next game was between Midlands and Riversdale and Winton, and it was a bit of a cliffhanger, judging by the scoreboard. Kirk Ray was reffing that one, so we would love that. 20 points to 19, just 1 point in it. So Midlands will be pretty stoked to hang on for a tight win there. Geordie, hear from any of the Midlands boys about that game?
No, I believe they were having a party though afterwards. Midlands having a party, so
might have had one eye on that, maybe.
Yeah, they might have, but no, I didn't hear that. It's fair to say that Riversdale side aren't too bad as well. They've got some pretty good numbers and pretty good names. They've been pretty struck with injuries the last few years, but no, it's good to hear they put up a good fight actually. And that Midlands side, they've got handy enough numbers as well. So I'm sort of the same with you. I'm not too sure what sort of the final's going to line up like, but those top 2, Tiana and Midlands, both at this stage looking like it, eh? So
absolutely. Yeah,
I don't know if
interesting.
I didn't watch the full tape, just the highlights, but it looked like, I don't know if it was cut wrong or not, but
yeah, it was.
Riversdale, did Midland score more than 1 try?
Scored 17 after 20 minutes, but there's only an hour footage, so there's only one.
Because it looked like Riversdale scored 3 and Midlands only scored 1.
They scored 2 crackers, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
2 from their own half. They were good tries.
Absolutely.
But so it looks like Midlands are almost a bit ripe for the picking at the moment if you get a good, because they've had a couple of tight wins lately and they got rolled over by TR now. So I don't know.
Yeah, talking to one of the guys associated around the club, he tells me they're battling a couple of injuries at the moment. So I guess they're hoping to get a couple of guys back on board. But they keep picking up a few W's. So almost, I guess, in the same boat as Tiana, our win this week would almost get them there. We'll see what happens this week. But we'll go to the last game. Edendale at home needed to win again to keep the season alive, and the Magpies got it done thanks to the old master, Bradley White, come out of retirement. Very short-lived retirement, I must add, too. One of the shortest you'd see.
Hamstrings are gone.
Yeah. 60 metres, but he'd probably say 90-metre intercept try to seal the win, 25-13. The game was in the balance before he got that intercept, so the Edendale boys will have to thank him. I'm sure they did on Saturday night. But that's a huge one for them. Boys catch those highlights, or in particular Brad's intercept.
Yeah, I think you posted it in the group chat, mate. So couldn't miss it.
It'll be going on the gram.
Yeah, another 5 meters and he would have been run down. But
he was on a treadmill, wasn't he?
he was in quicksand. But it's all history. Got the 5. Quick off the mark. It was an impressive run.
Still got it.
Now they scored some good tries too. There's a lot of good Ack Soper tries this week. So Hacker's couple were good.
Yeah, big win for the
Looked
Edendale
like Devin
boys.
McLeod was involved pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Again, he always see him. It looks like barely misses a goal. Theo kicks, but he looked pretty handy ball in hand from what I watched.
You didn't get an Ants Nola analysis, did you?
No. So I've got no rundown from Ant Nola this week or next week, but he draws me will have one for Midlands. So I'm not too sure what.
We'll get to this shortly, but surely he's on the bus to Tiarnell this Saturday. Surely
he's not. By all accounts, he's not.
Oh.
He might be. There might be some good races on or something, but
must be.
No, he's not going.
Oh no, very good. Anyway,
the only highlights I've seen from that actually was by a brick challenge by the Edendale Rugby Club, and at the very end of the video, I seen Goose Milan happily walking to the club.
I think he might have got man of the match.
How's he getting on this year? How's he going?
He's on the wing.
On the wing?
Yeah, I think he's been going all right. He had one moment he might like to forget against Wyndham from what I saw in the video, but apart from that, he sounds like he's been going good.
Yeah, good to see them utilising his electric pace in the wide channels.
Absolutely.
Proven a handful. So, no, good one for the Edendale boys. And, good to say, like you said, Geordie, obviously, a few clubs like yourselves got him behind the buy a brick. So, make sure you buy a brick if you're a club or even an individual. It's good stuff. Right, we'll get into the Gerald Dermody. So, they were back on board on Saturday. Pioneer got it done. But the roll continues for the boys from Newman Park. 22-19. You boys tipped against them considering Hayden Michaels had backed up on Wednesday, but Hayden Michaels proved he's wrong. He got up and led the boys to a victory.
It was only me that went Tokanui.
Oh, it was you, Pricey. Sorry,
Float
mate.
pointers let me down. Fuckers.
Yeah, so great win for the Pioneer boys. That puts them clear ahead at the top of the table with just 2 games to go as well. So promising signs for them looking to host a final out in Gore. Hear any reports on that game, fellas?
I'd be lying if I said I did, to be honest, but Pioneer sound like they're tough to beat at Newman Park, don't they? So you don't want the final out there if you're the other side. Yeah,
absolutely. So, bit of a 3-horse race for second, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll go to the second game, which was in Invercargill at the Waikiwi Domain. The Waikiki boys 41-17 over the Wanderers. As expected, we thought Waikiwi would sort of run away with this one. Good to see the Wanderers get a few points on the board, though, fellas.
At this stage of the season, them even making the game with a team, it's a win for them, I think. Considering the tough bone they've been chucked by Rugby Southland.
Yeah, big time.
You want to elaborate on that any further, or people?
We talked about it last week. Just the 4 away games in a row to Invercargill and Tokanui is outrageous. We need to start a petition.
I just want to know.
Get the Wanderers a home game.
I just want to know just quickly what it obviously there's a bit of excitement when you drive up to Queenstown, you play up there.
Yeah.
Like what must it be like? Like you're driving all the way down to Invercargill, then you got to drive all the way home. Like it's.
I mean, I think the
it's
first
like you're staying down here, are you?
Who knows? They might have.
Would be a bit of fizz, you know. You'd be stoked. It'd be a bit of a bus trip, get us away. But then your next week, okay, the numbers start to drop. You've got to look at more faces. There's still that core group, you know.
Yeah.
So you're like, the next week, okay, look, we're struggling. You get to get the job done, but like I said, they got some numbers on the board, so at least they didn't throw the game away, and they're there to play. So
yeah, it's good stuff.
I actually I drove past the Waikiki Rugby Club at maybe 5 o'clock on Sunday, and there's still about 15 cars there. So I'm guessing it was a decently heavy sesh, or they've
Or a
kicked off on the
sesh.
Sundays. Yeah, so fair play to the Kiwi boys. They've had a real crack.
Yeah, that'd be definitely shooting high for the MVP off Field of Wood in
Big
2020.
time.
We'd go with that. So yeah, that good win for them, and that actually on the field. We talked about their off field, but on field gives them a decent sniff at getting into the final there in a 3-way tie with Tokanui and Mosburn. Mosburn, who have bounced back. They were a couple of L's in the column for them, but they've bounced back emphatically. 31-7 over the Albion boys back at home. Microwave must have got going there, fellas. We hear anything on that?
It was just inevitable that they'd bounce back eventually, wouldn't it? So I haven't heard any match reports from out there, but yeah, tough place to go win is the Mosman Domain. So I'm not too surprised personally.
Yeah. Geordie, catch any word from those Mozzie boys? You know a couple of them?
Mate, I know a few of them, and all I see Snapchat, social media is just every win they have, it's like they've won the bloody final, mate. They're just tearing the back off. Just tearing the back off it. Like, fair play to them. That's good stuff. I mean, like, if we had a few teams like that, man, there'd be some good bar takings around South.
Oh yeah.
I bet.
Especially in the clubs. So
yeah, absolutely. No, it's good to see them.
no on-field stuff. Over the head,
Yeah.
no on-field results. But
Yeah,
off-field,
no on-field.
definitely good club.
Yeah, they must have gone pretty well. 31 points to 7. I'm imagining they scored 4 or 5 tries, so they would have got them a bonus point. If we take a quick look at the standings, we'll go to the standings, all important, with just 2 games to go. Waikiwi, as we said, Mosburn and Tokanui all on 19. So a massive week coming up for those 3 teams. Albion and Wakatipu obviously out of the running. Pioneer on 24, so they got a wee 5-point buffer, which is pretty good to them. Pretty crucial game this week. Waikiwi at home to Mozzie. So we might get straight into the previews, fellas. We won't hold back. Waikiwi at home. Mosburn, the winner of this game, fair to say, gives themselves a shot, or a decent shot, really, at making that final. What are we thinking, fellas? Waikiwi, can they get it done at home, or the Mozzie boys going to come down and have a hell of a piss up on the way home?
Well, it's not allowed to drink on the bus on the way back now, but
True.
I'm sure those boys have worked something out. But
Scott knows a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
The boys, they love a piss up, the old Mozzie boys. So they'll come down, especially getting to the end of the season. They'll be wanting getting it done. But then again, a lot of them are probably starting to carve and lamb, prepping for that anyway. So a few of them could be absent getting this later on the season. But it'd be a bloody good match, lads.
Who are you going with, mate? What's your tip? Waikiwi 12 and under? Or do you think Mozzie get it done?
I'm going to go Mozzie 12 and under.
Oh, Mozzie 12 and under. Good tip. I can imagine the boat race would be almost more anticipated than the game in this fixture.
Yeah. We start tipping that. We start tipping the boat race.
Eyes, what do you think, mate? Tight tussle on the cuts?
I've got Mozzie 13 plus every game this year. Fuck. But I'm going to tip the Kiwi boys unders. I think they get the job done at home. Just on boat races, actually, we beat Barbars in the weekend in a controversial decision. So, led by Cheese and the likes, Howdy. Boys weren't overly happy with some of the decision making, but we'll chalk up our first one for the season.
Yeah, we'll take that, especially against the Barbars. So you going Waikiwi, mate? Waikiwi in a tight one?
Give me Kiwi unders.
Brycey, what are you thinking, mate? This is do or die for these two.
I know. I was going to go Kiwi unders too, but I'm about 8 points behind Fott in the pick, so I'm going to go Mossburn. I think it's flip a coin. I do like Kiwi in that, but I'm going to go Mossburn I'm chasing points here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to go off the home team. I think home advantage. Like you say, Geordie, a couple of those Mozzie boys might be ready for a bit of carving. Mine might be off the job, so off the rugby job, on the real job. So I'm gonna go home side by a couple. Right, we'll go to the second game. Wakatipu, finally back at home. And I understand they are playing at the rec ground. So they're not at the event centre. Back in the heart of Queenstown. Taking on Tokanui. Tell you what, the Tokanui boys will be licking their lips with a trip off the farm up to Queenstown.
Oh, yeah.
This could be good stuff. What do you think? Tokanui too good on the busso and on the pitch?
Yeah,
yeah.
I've just dragged Toko 13 plus across again, mate.
Next
game.
They'll be pissing up.
Yeah. No, big weekend ahead for the Tokanui boys. I think 5 points, which will put them in a pretty good position with one game to go. So we'll say they'll get it done. Right, too easy. We'll go to the last game, or we're back to the Gore Showgrounds, the dreaded Showgrounds. Bit of a rematch in the battle for Gore. Albion taking on Pioneer. Pioneer put a fair few round Albion last time, so they'll be looking to square the ledger. What do you think, fellas? Pioneer locking their home final here?
Yeah, they're on a
100%.
roll. They'll be too good.
13 plus.
Geordie, you agree with that, mate? Pioneer boys?
Yeah,
Too
bragging rights, mate. Yeah, they want a clean sweep this year, I'd say.
Be a few dust-ups in their game. There has to be, doesn't there?
Oh,
It has to be.
Do we actually hear if there's any in the first game?
No, I don't think there was. That makes me think there's going to be even more in this one. I think there's a couple of red cards on offer potentially.
At the Showgrounds as well.
Yeah, battle for Gore. It's going to be on.
Yeah. If you're in Gore, get down to the Showgrounds on Saturday. Good stuff.
It'll be a full grandstand, so get there early, lads.
Yeah. They'll pack it in. Right, you've dragged that one across, Brycey.
Absolutely.
So that's the Gerald Dermody. We'll go straight to the Ack Soper. 3 big games coming up there. We'll start in Winton. Midlands, another home game for them, 2 on the trot. Taking on Wyndham. Wyndham, looking at the points table, they're pretty much out of it now. Not quite. They could still mathematically get there, but pretty unlikely. They're back on 14. Midlands lead on 25. Tiarnau 24. Edendale 20. And Riversdale also on 14. So I guess Wyndham would have to get 5 and hope for other results to go their way. But what do we think here, fellas? Midlands at home too good, or you think because Wyndham did tip them up in the first round?
I think Midlands just. I think the unders, but I'm not saying that overly confidently. But as you said, Wyndham are probably out now, so I think Midlands will just get the job done. Close one.
Absolutely. Jordan,
sorry, you go, Jordy. I'll just go Wyndham unders slightly. I think.
Oh yeah.
You've used it as a bad thing that they're out. I reckon it might be a bit of a relief almost.
But they've been in the final the last 3 or 4 years. They expect to be in the final. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Geordie said they've got a bit of cattle out though, old Midlands, and they'll be stressing a bit. They've been number 1 all year.
Yeah,
heat starting to come on.
You go in tense, and you're coming up against a team that don't really give as much of a fuck as they used to.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Geordie, who you going, mate? Midlands or Wyndham?
Yeah, look, it is tough, but Wyndham are that side. I mean, we played them last year in a crossover, and they're just that side who will get up and they don't give up. So I'm gonna go with Wyndham 12 and under. So
He's going the Wyndham boys. He's going
we
against
got the Valley boys. So yeah, no, tough side. They will be, and they always play for pride. So yeah.
There'll be some unhappy faithful in Winton, mate. I think after listening to that. But...
Oh, mate. Yeah, I know. I mean, Kirch will be screaming.
It's even more reason to pick Wyndham.
Yeah, I'm actually. No, I'm going to go off the home team. Just, I expect nothing more than a 5-point margin, but I'll go Midlands. Give me Midlands locking in a final. Not sure whether it'll be a home final, but I think they might just get the job done. Wyndham boys, like you say, might be a bit more relaxed. Whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out. Right, we'll go to the second game out at the Riversdale Rugby Club. Riversdale taking on Waikaka. Fair to say there'll be a bit of feeling in this game. Both teams, Riversdale possibly an outside mathematical chance, but probably out. Waikaka definitely out of the running. What do we think here, lads? Waikaka spoil the home party for Riversdale? We think Riversdale too good.
This will be the hardest game to pick all year, I reckon.
Yeah.
I've absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Do they play for a Shield, these two? I don't know.
They did play under lights. They did play under lights last time when we used to tip Waikaka, but that was when Waikaka's run, I guess, ended.
You know, fuck it, I'll tip Waikaka. Give me the Waikaka unders.
This might be a segment for another time, but is there a worse strip in Southland Club Rugby than Waikaka's?
A worse strip? You're not a fan of the green, mate?
Nah,
I don't mind it.
it's fucking awful.
Apart from Tiana's outing in the weekend, really not far off.
That's good stuff. Right, here you go, mate. Riversdale, surely. You're a huge fan of Riversdale, mate.
Shit. I've been neglecting these two all year. It'll be a draw now. I've just sprayed Waikaka. I'll go Riversdale. Riversdale unders.
Geordie, who you go, mate? What are you thinking?
I'm going with the Kaka boys. Just like we've sparked them up with their shit strip, so surely get it done. They got still a few good players out there. They got some good in the back line. I think Alex is leaning at the front. He's still raging bull. So I'd say, I'm going the Kaka boys. I'd love to upset the Riversdale lads up there.
Can they get off the bottom with a win or two here in the last two games?
2 wins, I think. They're back on 8.
That's enough to play for.
Yeah, picked up plenty of bonus points, I think. So, they got plenty to play for. They could avoid the spoon if they get up again next week. I'm gonna go off the home side again, though. I'm gonna go off the Riversdale boys. They have played some good footy this year, contrary to earlier opinions on this show in particular.
Bryce's opinions.
Oh, fuck, this is bullshit.
So I'm gonna go Riversdale.
I won't be able to come back to Invercargill.
It's all right, mate. Riversdale's an hour and a half away.
Yeah, you don't venture that far out of the province. I mean, out of the town boundary, do you?
I wanted to play the golf course. Apparently, it's all right. I might have to give that a miss.
Good on us, mate. Right, good stuff. Right, we've left this game for last deliberately. Some would call this probably one of the biggest games of the season. Tiana, hopefully they'll remember their strip at home this week. Taking don't know how they'd go shipping the Matoda strip up to Tiana, but they are at home taking on Edendale, the Magpies. Not sure if Brad White will be available after his heroics last week. Might still be puffed.
He's still in the end goal.
Yeah. Huge game, really. Tiana win would get them into the final. An Edendale win would make the last week very interesting. So this could go either way. Jason McMath has been tasked with refereeing this one. What do we think, fellas? This could be very hard to pick.
This is a tough one for you, Scotty. These are both your favourite teams in Southland.
Yeah,
I'm going to take Edendale.
Draw could be on the card.
I reckon
you're going to go to Dale.
The track looks good. Was good up there last time. I reckon it's going to suit Edendale's game a wee bit. Plus, they need to win. They need to win to get in. Yeah, fuck. Oh, give me Edendale.
You've gone for a few lefty this week, Oz. You're in front, mate.
Well, yeah, I'm either getting consolidated or I'm going to be at the bottom. But
he's gone out the box. Geordie, what do you think here, mate? This could be a tight game.
Oh, tough, especially if they lost the big great white shark, Brad White. He's good, but especially the morale would have been up too, especially if he's just broken a game open like that. But they played for a trophy on the weekend and they won that. And just like I said about a team before, when they won that, they were celebrating like they won the final. So they had a pretty good Sunday by the look of it. So I think some of those boys are ready to hang their boots up for the year. So I'm going to go Tiana.
Tiana seal the final, you reckon? Seal the final spot?
I think so, yeah. Like they had their mind on the prize. And some of those Edendale boys, they're ready. They've had their win. So
the Wallace Shield, I believe it was, is it? That's tucked away for the year.
Yeah, Waller or the Willis, something like that. Yes,
something with W. Played for between the East and Southland teams, I understand. So Edendale have locked that away. Bit of movement with that Shield in a short season, wasn't there? Fair to say.
Good to see.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. So, Brycey, what do you think, mate? You on the fence?
It's close.
You'll take Tiana.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll go Te Anau unders, but if the game was in Edendale, I'd probably go the other way. I think I'm just going to give it home ground advantage. Bit of a fortress up by the lake.
Fair to say
Hopefully it gets done.
these teams had a bit of a ding dong last time they played a couple of weeks back. Jeez, I'm torn here. I'm torn.
Yeah. If Edendale win that, if Edendale win that and Wyndham get up over Midlands, she's all on, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't go past Te Anau at home. I'm sorry, Magpies, but I'm going to have to go against you.
Jeez.
First time all year. But I think Te Anau back in their own strip on their own deck. Well, I hope they're back in their own strip. I hope they get it. I think they'll get it done.
To be confirmed.
Yeah, TBC on that, but we'll check in with Dale YRL. Yeah, huge game. I can't see them losing at home. Too much on the line. Final spot, potentially a home final. I think they'll get it done. But it'll be very tight. Right, we'll go to the Premier. Big weekend of games coming up. We'll start off at Surrey Park. POB looking to bounce back from a bit of a dusting from Woodlands, 61-0, coming up against the Barbars. We said before, Barbars pretty unlucky. They'll be looking to chalk up a W. What do we think here, fellas? Barbars potentially cause an upset. POB still plenty to play for, though.
Barbars unders.
Is the game at Surrey Park?
I believe
Lockie McCall.
I believe it's there.
I think if it's at Surrey Park, it suits.
Yeah, Barbars.
Barbars even more. And after Lockie McCall got up and said in front of our club rooms that they're going to default in the weekend to get a bit of a rise out of the crowd, I think he'll lead from the front and get the boys across the line. I just think Barbars are playing too well at the moment. And as you said, with a few injuries to Pirates old boys, they looked a little bit, flat in the weekend. So be interested to see how they bounce back. But I think Barbars unders.
Get it done. They'll be doing Star and Maris a huge favour also.
Huge
favourite. Jordy, you'll be going Barbars. You would have slipped a few notes in their
mate, I would honestly love to, but I can't look past. You're hurting. 61's it, mate. You're hurting. You've got to come back. When do you come back from that?
True.
So I'm on the Pirates bus this week because
who's out for Pop?
Yeah, just quickly on the Pob Oil. Unsure as to Isaac Katamaki. Not sure if you two boys have heard anything around him. I know he did limp off with a tight or a tweaked hammy. Now, in Te Alamai Tonga Tuapati, there has been reports that he is heading off to greener pastures. By greener, I mean Manawatu.
Watu.
Unsure if that's been confirmed or not, though. The word was that he was heading off this week, so that would be a bit of a loss, even though he's just turned up. Understand.
Southland have just got one hooker in the province now, so if I was Southland, I'd be looking very hard at trying to sign him.
Yeah, for those who may be unsure what we're talking about, Flynn Thomas, who's a big listener of the pod, so poor Flynn, he's dislocated his shoulder pretty badly playing footy in Dunners on Saturday, so pretty gutted for Flimbo. I know he rehabbed it well and was looking to come back strong, so he's going to be out with another operation, so all the best to you, Flynn. Hope you rest
just
up,
on Flynn, I was talking to him on Monday, and he said his shoulder was out of place for 8 hours, and they had to put him to sleep to put it back in. So it's a pretty tough one, but hopefully he can bounce back with a decent surgery and a good rehab. But so
he's obviously out, which means Greg Pleasance Tate has a body like Tarzan. He'll have to carry the can and go 80 minutes every week, I think, at this stage. But Tua will hold the phone and see if he's heading away. I guess we'll know if he runs out at Surrey Park on Saturday.
So is that confirmed? But that's not confirmed whether he's going away.
It's an unconfirmed report, mate. But it's multiple sources have cited that.
I'd have a sweating brother because Sammy signed up there for another year, so he might be filling out with an old for a starting jersey. So I might have to give him a ring, and see if he's heard anything from those neck of the woods anyway. So mate,
Manawatu have got a real thing for signing Southland front rowers, don't they?
Mate, maybe I should have gone to the front row when I was up there. But Yeah, no, they seem to. So
Oh no. Well, yeah, we'll watch the space, I guess. Watch the space. Hopefully, we get some more on that before Saturday. But yeah. Anyway, right. So we're going bars across the board there. Lock it in.
I'm pop unders.
Oh yeah, Geordie's going Pob. I'm gonna go bars just for the fact that from a Marist perspective, they can do a job for us.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go to the next game. We'll go to the scruffy butt. Big game for you, Star Boys, Geordie, at home. I understand you're going to play at Waverley Park. You'll be at home.
yeah.
Taking on Woodlands. 32-5 last time you played them, or something like that. So you'll be
35-5. Yes.
35-5. Yeah.
Last night. So
yeah, mate.
No, it's tough. But
How's the health of the boys? You got a couple of boys back on deck, or you boys bit of excitement around the scruffy butt this week?
yeah, there always is, lads. It's pretty massive, and it's always something to get up extra. And we've played. Luckily, the last few years been played at Waverley Park for us. So thankfully, we've got that ground again. Hopefully, the council don't come into play and tell us to head out to the George, because it could be a bit of a tough day. But
Jeez, mate, the George will be worse. The George will be worse than Waverley Park after last week.
by the sounds of it, it's not looking too flash. But yeah, she might be a forward orientated game this week, which would probably suit us as well. Not saying that their back's fairly handy as well, but it would probably be a good battle to see. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Brycey, how are you tipping here, mate?
Fuck, I don't know. You can't not pick Woodlands almost, but they're in mode now where they're in the final. I think we've all been in the position where you've got a semi-final. You just don't want to get any injuries. Plus, the Star Boys have got it all to play for.
Yeah.
I'll tip an upset just because you're on the pod here, Geordie.
Go on.
I'll go.
Come on, Star. Overs, isn't it? You going overs?
You got bullied into that, Bryce.
Geordie was just looking at me. I was like, fuck. If they were going to lose another one this year, it'll be this one, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't argue with that.
Stars 4-pack could definitely beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. Eyes, what do you think, mate? Upset on the cards.
I think it'll be close. But talking to the guys in the Woodlands camp, they're also going to be up for this one. It doesn't seem like there was too much complacency in their side. That. Well, yeah, but I just think it'll be a fucking arm wrestle up front. So I'm going to go Woodlands unders, but it'll be a pretty good game by the sounds of it. Yeah,
I'm going to go Woodlands unders. Sorry, Geordie, but I think your forwards will. I think your forwards will definitely be able to match them. I think you've got the pack, as you know yourself, that can front up to those boys. But I guess it's just whether that Woodlands backline can get going. And I know Saucy Tuamavavi had a bit of oil that he might not be playing.
No, he's out, isn't he?
He's out. He hamstring strain, I understand. So I guess there's some light at the tunnel there for you boys in terms of the backline. But
I've heard that he's been pretty devastating. So that's probably a bad thing. Hopefully, best for his recovery to the big man. But
good stuff. But now I'm sure you boys will get stuck in. We'll just have a look who's refereeing that one, actually. Who is refereeing that one? Oh, Sam Nicholson coming off a short turnaround. Spinner, who he took control of the Southland Boys Kings game. I think he might have dropped the whistle in the last 5 minutes. Dropped it at the other end. But it's good stuff. He's looking to back up. And I see his dad's running the touch, his old man, Steve. So a bit of a family show there.
Plenty of critiquing going on.
I heard Stakes on the other touch. Is the other touch judge?
Actually, that does say TVC, so that might be why. Oh, it's good stuff. Right. We'll go to the last game at Appleby, down in Appleby. Blues taking on Marist. Blues can't make the final now, but they'll be looking to spoil Marist party. I'm sure of that. Grant Dermody refereeing this one down at Blues. What do we think, fellas? We'll start with Brycey or Geordie, we'll start for you guys. What do you think here? Maris boys, couple of injuries, or more than a couple of injuries, unfortunately.
What's the news on Fozzie?
I can't. I
He's
do.
playing.
I'll give the truth. He's gone. Poor Fozzie. He's
The
just
pod's heard this before.
So I can
he'll be captain.
100% assure you he will not be playing. Unfortunately, he's in a knee brace. Leki Saili also hobbling around. He will not be playing. So, and there's one or two others that are pretty doubtful as well. So, a bit of a test of the Maris boys' depth, but 3 on the trot, so a bit of confidence and a bit of belief there.
Yeah. I think you guys will be too good, but it'll be close. It'll be close. Blues definitely showed a bit of improvement the last fortnight from where they were in that hole with the default and things like that.
Yeah.
Where is the game?
Blues, mate. Blues.
Yeah.
Heavy 10.
Yeah, you guys by 3.
You lads have a bit of depth in the second row, so Fozzie is a mountain for you lads. But
huge.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just want to know if there's one player. Is Eyes playing?
I can't confirm.
12.
Eyes will be in the lineup this week. Had a rest last week, but he's fizzed and ready to go.
Yeah. And is Tano Puki at 10 and Eyes at 12?
Something like that, mate. That's just the counter Kalipi getting over the game line, I think.
No, look, I think when we played you lads, what really probably got it is your pack being real fit. Obviously, having guys like Fozzie come off was helpful, but even some of the guys, you had Simon Dowling starting. I think you had another lock there was handy enough for you. So I think you guys probably too fit and fast for the Blues lads. So I'm going to say probably 13 plus for you lads. Just after a fairly Blues, a bit sore. They're missing a few. I think they've had a fair shape up from what I've heard this week. A few different. Ryan Taylor possibly moving to fullback this week, and Oscar moving into the 10 jersey. So
that's some good oil, mate. That's some
that's
bloody
great
good
oil.
Appreciate that, actually. So early in the week. You got your finger on the pulse, mate.
Yeah.
Finger on the pulse. Brycey, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, you went with me first, mate, and I picked Maris unders.
I did. No, I was just making sure because every time you've tipped against us, we've won. So,
well, you've just mentioned Eyes is in, so I might change my pick.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not starting. I'm doubtful hangover.
What was that, mate?
You just cut out there, mate. You just cut out.
Oh, sorry. I said I was doubtful with a hangover.
You got work due. You've got work due Friday.
Yeah.
Go to the workman's club.
I'm sure you'll find plenty come 3 o'clock Saturday, mate. So we'll look forward to that game. Right, just to finish, fellas, we thought we'd have just a quick spiel. If anyone who read the ODT or the Southland Times might have seen a bit of discussion about Rugby Park and its future. We did a bit of a scientific poll, highly scientific poll on Instagram last week to see where the people out there think that there should be the money put into Rugby Park to repair it, or whether it should just get bulldozed and look for another site, aka somewhere around Surrey Park. I just quickly got off the surveys. It was about two-thirds thought to put the money in and 1/3 thought to bulldoze it. What are your guys' thoughts, Geordie? Geordie, I'm sure you have some thoughts on this, mate.
Yeah, I think I voted on that poll when I voted to keep it. But in saying that, I did like your idea at Surrey Park. I definitely think there's some room for some movement there. It would be cool. There's a lot of pitches all over the country that got the track around them, and it's quite a hard case. So that would be definitely something cool to see. But you got to think of the memories. I mean, you guys, when you beat us in the final, you think of the memories at being at the park when we won it against. I think it was against you guys first time. It was my first year. Yeah, no, it was great. It was good. We had full, supporters, not as much as you lads, but in the crowds and that, and even the night games. The night games they host is always class. So it'd be a shame. I mean, it'd be good to see it done properly, lads. That's what I'd like to see. So
Yeah. So
Hopefully
you're talking because obviously one of the biggest criticisms of Rugby Park has been that it really just sits around for 345, 350 days of the year. You think that it really should be opened up like every weekend, get the kids on, get some club footy on there.
Yeah,
'Cause it
yeah.
does just sit
There's
there, doesn't
plenty.
it?
There's plenty for it to be used for, and generally footy I'd be more interested to see. But if there's any other sports they could utilise that, I see the Rams they had a few run outs on it. It was always good to see. I think on the scoreboard the Rams set up there against the Marlborough Titans or something for about 8 weeks. So very past every day.
Yeah.
The Rams had to win.
Yeah.
It was good to see. So, but
There's
yeah,
nothing.
it's good to see utilised. Definitely utilised more.
Yeah, there's nothing better than driving past Rugby Park on a Tuesday morning and seeing the score if you hadn't caught up with it on the electronic side. Brycey, you'll have some thoughts on this, no doubt, mate.
Yeah, I'm a bit torn as well. I think one of the options on the Insta poll was put money into. I would want to see what the money's going to be paying for to upgrade. Like,
yeah,
I think as well, the reason why I'm leaning more towards Surrey Park is just there's a couple more boozers within walking distance. Geordie, you just did a stint in Ireland, mate. You know, they do it pretty well over here, eh? They love going in for a few pints
and
then walking down to the stadium. I think that's probably a black mark against Rugby Park. It's just probably a bit out of walking distance from the Northo.
So what are you talking in terms of Surrey Park? You're talking Glengarry here, or?
Oh, I mean, it's what is it?
Gary
5-minute
gets
walk.
start. Yeah.
Or even an opportunity to pop up another pub somewhere along there if they do go Surrey Park and get a couple going.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the track thing as well. I've been to a couple games with rugby, or even I went to a few football games at the Caledonia in Dunedin. You're actually quite far from the action with the track, so they need to be quite innovative with the stands or how they put the whatever they build there. So you feel like you're close to the action, because I think Rugby Park, that main grandstand's actually pretty good. It's really close. Yeah. So they need to.
I think the argument that was made was, is having a stadium the size of Rugby Park needed in Invercargill these days? And I probably would have to agree with the council who said that he doesn't think it is needed for the amount of money that's going to be needed to fix it. Obviously, the club, the supporters club and the officers contaminated the grandstand, the old part of the grandstand, which I think is about a third of the seating, is not going to be able to be used unless there's money spent to fix that to a standard. So I guess that's the big question. Is it worth all that money, Eyes?
So
or do you just knock it over?
As much as I love Rugby Park and going, we just get some more players with it. But as much as I love it, it's never utilised. As you said, there's ITM Cup games, 5 of them a year, club finals, and that's maybe a couple of Rams games. Like, it's just not utilised. And all my early rugby memories are at Rugby Park, going to watch the Stags, running around the terraces, that sort of thing. But I mean, it's not used. And I think now does it cost a club, if you want to pay there $1,000?
Yeah, I think
if you want to move up,
$1,500 if you want to play on the park. Yeah.
Clubs just don't have that money, and I mean, it's just not getting utilised. So I think they do need to look at alternate options, and I think the money could be spent elsewhere, possibly at Surrey Park, possibly somewhere else where they actually build a stadium that's a bit more fit for purpose and actually gets utilised more over the winter months.
A good example as well, is up the road with Carisbrook, mate. That was, people were real nervous about knocking that over with all its history and things like that. And then you forget about it after a couple of years.
You do. Something needs to be done, because as it is at the moment, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And
it's an ornament. Look ahead to this year. Like, you're not going to be able to use a third of the grandstand. Possibly you're going to be able to use the supporters club. I'm not sure if that's been fixed yet or in the process of getting fixed.
I don't think it has it?
No. So you're really going to be in a situation where you're only going to have a half a stand. I don't know.
End up like Taranaki, the Euro Stadium. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I think, with the benefits of Stadium South, and you've got all your facilities there, don't you? I know they're building a big softball, I think, club room complex. So on that other side. So if you did have a wee bit of an embankment with that building, could be some changing rooms you use there. Do up the athletics grandstand maybe. I don't know. I don't think you need 10,000 people capacity stadium. I think 6,000 to 8,000 max with a little bit of temporary seating would do the job. You got the stadium in behind for your after matches and whatnot. So I don't know. Interesting. Interesting debate.
If you get 6,000 in like a 6,000 seater stadium, it feels bigger than 6,000 at a 20,000 like we've got now. So you actually get a bit of an atmosphere and it actually feel more on top.
Is that Surrey Park school still there on the corner, just abandoned?
That is abandoned, yeah.
It is abandoned, but there is a wee kindergarten there, and the Stags do train on the field on the corner, which is not ideal, but
get rid of the kindergarten and pop a pub up there as well, and we're fucking on.
just surrounded in pubs, you reckon?
Just one more.
Game day experience.
Mate, there's an opening, so get planning for, because when you come back, there's a big opening for you to open up a pub.
It would go fucking good though, wouldn't it? So netball games and all that kind of shit at the stadium, velodrome.
Yeah.
If there are any potential sponsors out there listening, I'm sure Brycey's Pitch or someone will be all over it. So
hopefully Waxy's maybe. I'll talk to them on Saturday night.
Just franchise it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there, fellas. But that'll do us for tonight. We've run pretty deep tonight. So cheers for coming on, Geordie. Good to have a different voice on and guess a star perspective. Haven't had a star perspective yet, so good to have you on, mate. All the best for the scruffy butt.
Thanks very much.
Go well. Done for us, mate.
Yeah, no. Someone needs to do it, but no, look, it'll be a tough match, but we'll get there. Boys hopefully roll their sleeves up and winning the scruffy butt. The aftermatch is definitely better, and that night's better. So I'll probably see him Waxies on Saturday night. Yeah,
no doubt. See the smokers bar.
That's steak, mate.
Good stuff. Thank you. Thanks, Geordie.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Brycey. Cheers, mate.